Hello everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the Little Thespian Podcast. Today's episode, we talk to actor, writer, broadcaster, YouTuber, and literal queen, Samara O'Gorman, all things Your Local Samaritan, theater, and so much more. I have my tea, I have my laptop, I have my mic, we're all set, so let's hop in to the second episode. Alright, so hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second episode of the Little Thespian Podcast. On today's episode, we have actor, writer, broadcaster, and literal queen, Samara O'Gorman. Hi, Sam. How are you doing?
Hi, Matthew. I'm doing swell. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being on. It's great to have you on. So today we're going to be talking everything Your Local Samaritan, of course, because whoever has not heard of Local Samaritan, you're really missing out. And everything YouTube, writing, and so much more. So the first question, a lot of people had to ask this, but I already know this. How did Your Local Samaritan come to be?
Okay, so for those watching at home, Your Local Samaritan is a kindness campaign that I started a little over a month ago now. And I had this idea kind of like circulating in my head for years and years, but I didn't really have time. And well, Matthew knows in theater school, you don't have any time. So
No.
So I couldn't really, I guess, cultivate this project till now. I mean, we had so much time in quarantine, and basically I just wanted to teach others the importance of kindness, because I think when you practice it in your day-to-day lives, you'll receive it in return eventually. It's just so important, especially in our day and age, and that's what I want to do. Eventually, I actually want to implement it into schools. I haven't really mentioned that yet, but I'm really hoping to teach, have it, Your Local Samaritan kind of like a thing, a program in schools to teach kids, because kindness is so important to teach when you're young, so it can be with you while you're older. So yeah, it's a kindness campaign that I started just a little over a month ago. It's going very well. I'm very happy with the outcome. It actually started, to directly answer your question, it started because when I was little, my mom used to call me, because my name's Samara, so she used to call me like the local Samaritan, and yeah, then it kind of just grew from there. But yeah, I'm really happy with it, having fun.
I love that story, and honestly, I would love to see that in schools. It's one of the reasons why I'm doing this too. It's to kind of brighten up people's day, and I know you do that so often. I know I say it to you a lot, but you do. Yeah, it's whoever has not, like I said, whoever has not seen or heard anything in regards to the Local Samaritan, you're really missing out. It'll be down below on all platforms. Or on all platforms, excuse me. But before we hop into more of Your Local Samaritan, I want to hear more about the writing because you just started writing, not necessarily, but you had a show coming up. So how was that process, writing a new play and then one that you were going to be starring in? It was a one-woman show, right?
Yeah, so it was really spontaneous. So I saw this posting for Archon Productions. They were having an outdoor theater festival, and I'm like, oh my God, boy, do I miss theater. Like, do I miss performing? It's been so long. So I hopped to it and I got accepted, and I didn't have a play. So I basically had to write my own. um, yeah, so a lot of people don't know this, but I've been writing like spoken word on my like free time for years now. And it's just something that I do like in my room, but I took advantage with this festival and I said, hey, let's write a play. Um, Unfortunately, due to some circumstances, obviously the festival got canceled. Hopefully it's going to be remounted in the future sometime. But now I have this amazing play in my hand. It's called Cruelty is the Water We Drink. I'm crossing my fingers that I could perform it in Hudson because they have a spoken word festival in the fall. But if that doesn't come into fruition, maybe Fringe Festival 2021.
Wow. Yeah, no, it needs to happen because I know like you put a lot into that. I'm sure because
Yeah.
you don't do anything half-ass, to put it lightly. You don't.
It's my Capricorn energy.
Exactly.
I'm a perfectionist.
Yes. No. I mean, but yes, you are definitely one person that I want to see more theater with.
Yes.
And it will be great to see you in that whenever it does mount.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
I hope to see you there when it does happen.
100%.
Oh my
It's
God, I
just one.
love your mug.
The office mug. Yes.
Have you been binge watching it during quarantine?
No, I've already watched it like 3 times over. So
Watch it a fourth time over, man.
yeah, I do. I do have
That's what it's
time.
there
I definitely do have time. But yeah, it's. I really want to see you in more theater soon because I mean, hopefully it continues to happen very soon. I know a lot of theater has been, like I said with Camilla, excuse me, last week. It's really been taking almost a back seat, but then again, it needs to because of our health.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's a shame, but like I said, I with the festival that I was supposed to be in, like it's really time for some socially distanced theater. I mean, we could do it. It's really, really likely that it could happen. I mean, Zoom is amazing. It's been an amazing platform for online like
For
theater
sure.
shows, but it's just not the same. You know, it's you don't get the same feeling and you don't get the same takeaway as theater you see in person, you know, getting a little playable at the beginning and like seeing your friends and stuff and just yeah. It'll happen. It will.
It will. We're hopeful. But
Yes.
yes, that's a great segue into up to our next question, which I already know because I literally spent 3 years with you in theater school. But we're going to talk a bit more about theater in regards
Love
to
that.
how exactly did you get into the art, and how exactly did you, or do you have a favorite art that you have? Because I know you do drawing, I know you do singing. So what exactly is your favorite art? Hopefully it's theater. It might not be. That's fine. And how exactly did you get into it?
Oh my goodness. What a question. I love this question. I feel like I'm like asked it a lot too. And I feel like I never
Oh, for
have
sure.
like a really well articulated answer. Like it's just always all over the place. So bear with me. Um,
Of
I
course.
just, my whole life, I feel like I use one side of the brain. You know how like it's always said like there's the logical mathematical side and then there's the artsy side. I feel like the math side has been dead for like
I can completely agree with that on my end. I know it's
yeah.
in my name, but math is definitely not my strong suit.
No, so even if I wanted to like pursue like astrophysics or something, like I couldn't. Like I mentally could not. Like I just can't understand that stuff as much as it interested me. So I like instinctively, I guess, gravitated towards the arts my whole life. Ever since I was a kid, I went into every single school play. I had Glee Club. I took arts in high school. It just brought me such a sense of joy. And my favorite art form is, of course, theater, because I've always felt like the theater is like my second home. When I'm on stage, I feel so comfortable, which is weird because I'm usually like gonna throw up out of nerves sometimes.
I think that's part of it, though. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the scary part is something that we just latch onto, you know?
Oh my God. The adrenaline is something that I miss so much.
Right? Just being on stage itself.
And like the feeling you get afterwards. I feel like theater is such a great form of escape and like imagination. Like you get to play a character for 2 to 3 weeks and like completely escape to this world and a fantasy that's like totally unlike your current reality. And I've always loved it. I love to play. I feel like I'm still a kid at heart. That's also why theater is so much fun for me. But as Matthew mentioned, like I do love drawing, painting. I love all the other art forms because the math side of my brain does not work, my friends.
Oh, yeah. No, it's I really do miss it. It's the adrenaline, as you said. That it's just putting someone else's face on in a way, you know what I mean? Just getting into the skin of a character. Something I really miss.
I hope to, my whole life, I kind of see like a journey of arts. I see like myself trying every single different art form. I'm interested, I'm open to anything. Like in theater school, we learned mime, loved that. We learned clown, amazing. We learned commedia dell'arte, which is Italian mass theater. That was like one of my favorite things ever. We did collective creation, dancing. I mean, I feel like I'm promoting John Abbott Theater. I am in a way.
Go to
If
John
you're
Abbott
interested,
Theater.
just
Um,
go, just audition if
yeah.
you're into theater and want to
Um,
pursue acting.
not to like sell them up, but for sure. Yeah. Um, Most of my guests are going to be from John Abbott Theater because it's where I did theater. It's where Sam did theater. It's where a lot of amazing Montreal actors tend to go and do theater. So yeah. Um, but yeah.
I
So I
think I
also,
answered your question.
oh, for sure, for
We
sure.
went on a tangent about how much
No,
I love theater.
which is perfectly fine by me. Um, and yeah. So the next question, or not really a question, how exactly did you get to do so much on What's Up Canada or What's Up Montreal, I believe it is, right?
Hmm.
There's so many
Um,
things that I saw on your page. There's so many places and things that you've done. So how exactly did you get into one becoming a queen for the Irish
oh my God.
parade and so much more? Because you've done a lot, as I said to Camilla yesterday. But you not just theater, not just film. You've done a lot to the community.
Yeah. Uh, oh my God. I feel like actually I'm going to preface this answer with a really funny story from last fall. Last autumn, I was really overworking myself and I was taking too many jobs and I was doing absolutely everything. I was also a full-time student, also pursuing my acting career and everything. And I thought I got strep throat. So I went to the clinic and basically the doctor there was very, very confused. He said, your strep test came back negative. And Samara, honestly, I think you just need to calm down.
Wait,
He's like,
what? It's the first time I'm
yeah,
hearing
like
this. What?
I was convinced that I had strep throat just because I was like, I almost burnt myself out basically. And he told me that I just have to like calm down because I'm doing too much. But that's just my personality. Like I've
Yeah.
always been that way. Like I always want to be doing everything all the time because I love meeting people. I love seeing new places. I love doing things. It's just my personality. I'm such an extroverted person. So when you ask how all of these things came to be, I think it's just because I had the personality and perseverance to go get them. And I think that's, you could also apply that in the acting world, right? It's a very competitive business. And if you want something, I really, really believe if anybody's watching, you just have to go out there and get it. Do not give up. And that's what I did. I just love doing everything. So yeah, the Queen of Hudson, that was a really, really amazing experience. That was last year. It was a public speaking contest for those who don't know. A lot of people still believe that it's a pageant. It's not. It's all solely based on like your volunteer experience and your public speaking. And What's Up World, my job, I hold near and dear to my heart. It's basically a digital marketing company and we connect communities together. So there's a whole bunch of different communities around. There's What's Up West Island, What's Up Old Montreal, What's Up Montreal, What's Up Ottawa. And we're basically posting events online, helping support local businesses and just keeping the community connected. I've always liked that. So I guess to answer your question, I like meeting new people and I like experiencing new things.
That's amazing. And it's also very fitting to have you on the show, of which I really want to shed a light on these well-deserving people that are doing amazing things, and to put a community into something that just brightens up many people's lives is perfect for me. So I'm very glad to hear that. So to again shift gears into more of theater, just because we can talk about theater for
It is the
a very
Little
long time.
Thespian Podcast.
It is the Little Thespian Podcast, after all. What exactly was your not defining role, but I've access to Camilla last week as well. What has been the most challenging role you've had, and one that you can take with you in becoming a real professional theater actor?
Oh my goodness, these questions, Matt.
I know, they're very layered, huh?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Most defining role and a role that I can take with me. I would have to say my most defining role, even though my favorite play that we did, for those who don't know and are watching, is called the Decalogue Project. It was a collective creation. And I think I liked it so much because I wrote it with my ensemble. We basically wrote it from the roots up, the ground up. So that was my most defining play, but I feel like my most defining role to date was Verity Taylor from the play Find Me. Matthew and I actually did that play twice, and for some reason, I always think about it now and again. It was very, very hard to portray. It was a young girl who dealt with mental illness and who struggled with it in her coming to age life, and it was based on a true story. And I feel like I liked delving into her role so much because I guess the meaning of the story was so important. Mental health should not be stigmatized, and it should be brought to light in a better way, you know? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Of course, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I feel like Verity Taylor was very, very important to me because I am a mental health advocate myself, so I feel like her story is very important to get out there to the world, and I was very fortunate to play her twice. And a role that I'll take with me, I guess. Um, let's see. I guess I would have to say Lady Catherine from Pride and Prejudice, because that was a role that I didn't think I would get.
But it was
like,
really good for you. It was a really good role for you.
I had so much fun, and I feel like that's a role that's going to be like I'm going to take with me because it was a defining moment in my acting career that, hey, I don't have to play by one thing. I don't have to be typecast all the time. I could totally go into this different realm of personality, and that's exactly what Lady Catherine was. She was an old, stuck up, not going to say the next word. But it was so much fun to play her, and I feel like because I played her, I can really now have this broad universe to play with other characters as well. So I'm really happy that I got casted as Lady Catherine, because it showed me that I could play a lot of different type of characters.
Yes. And you're a very good creative actor. I'm just going to put that out there. You're a very good character actor. And it was great to see you in all those plays and work with you on 2 of those. As you guys can see,
I miss it so much.
As you guys can see behind me, there's a Decalogue mask. Not that you guys know exactly what that is. And then Find Me's right underneath me, but I mean, that would be weird if I just, but that's fine. Yeah, it was great to see you in that. And hopefully there's more great stuff coming to John Abbott. Again, I'll promote them
Yes.
because they are very, very good, and they taught me a lot. I know they taught Sam a lot as well, and I'm sure they taught so many other actors, of which I don't have on here right now. And Guy is also so good in anything in regards to backstage. Just saying.
Oh my
If that's
God,
anything you guys want to do, definitely check them out.
If you're into like tech or design, go to Abbott as well. It's not just for actors.
Definitely not. It's amazing. But to hop into more theater, I will come back to Your Local Samaritan near the end because
absolutely
I need to. Because I need to sell it more because it's great.
I should have you on the show. You're
Up to you.
It so well. So sweet. Come on the
show. What we're going to talk about now is in regards to people who want to pursue theater. Again, like I was talking with Camilla last week, not that I'm going to keep talking about my last episode, but you guys should definitely go check out the first episode as well.
But she's an angel.
She is.
You can praise her all the time.
But we were talking about how to get into a career in the arts, because unfortunately, the arts is, again, like I said, suffering somewhat during this time, and it's a career that not many people like to go into because it's not stable, it's not whatever. But how exactly can you shed a light onto getting into this business that we love so dear?
That's a really good question. I feel like first and foremost, you need to have the passion for it, right? Like if you're second guessing your pathway into the arts, being blunt, but I don't think you should do it. You should 100% be certain that this is what you want to do, because it's a very, very hard business, and you're gonna get rejection, you're gonna get criticism, but that's all a part of the job. Do not take that in a negative light. I believe you should take that into a positive light and use it to grow and to learn even more. It's a very, very hard business, but it's also a very rewarding business. It's fun. As I said before, it's full of imagination. You get to play. You feel like you're a kid again. You just have to have the passion for it. And right now, because unfortunately no live theater is happening, I think take advantage of the technology we have in our day and age, right? We have Zoom. There's a lot of live performances on Zoom being auditioned for right now. Don't wait, audition for them. Why not? We have all the time in the world. Start a podcast like Matthew did. Start a campaign like I did. It's all the exposure you can get for yourself as a growing artist is so beneficial. Especially with our generation using social media so much. I feel like this is where you're going to be seen. And also on another wavelength, if you get an audition and someone wants to search you up further, they could search you up online and see what you've done. So if Matthew did an audition and they wanted to know more about him, not just on the front page of his resume, they could search up Matthew Crandall. Hey, he did a theater podcast. He's really passionate about this stuff. So I think social media can be a really, really positive influence on us right now, and we should take advantage and use it to grow. And by the time that everything's safe again, I feel like it'll be a great jumpstart into it. Yeah.
That is great. I don't think I can add much more because Sam really said it almost perfectly in regards to how if you don't have passion for what you do, then there's not really much of a point to do it per se, especially in theater or especially in acting. It's definitely, you get more rejection than you do acceptance. It's just how it is. Yeah, there's so many ways to do it. You don't necessarily need to act in it. There's directing, there's producing, there's writing, there's anything behind the scenes or stage manager,
Yeah,
all sorts of stuff.
a whole world.
There really is a whole world.
Yeah.
And I will eventually have people that are backstage on this because it's something that many people should also get into as well. Because
Mhm.
without that, we don't shine, guys. Actors don't
No.
shine if we have
Oh
no
my God, they
lights.
do
If
so
we have
much for
nothing,
us.
nothing happens. It's true. It's
Yeah.
just that's how it is.
You're just
Um,
interviewing your brothers and sisters from the ensemble first, I guess.
yes, of course. um, yeah, it's eventually we'll hop into people behind the scenes, which I'm really looking forward to. And before I hop into our last two questions, I have a little tidbit of who's going to be on next week in regards to that. Sam has actually been a part of one of her productions,
Stop.
most recently, um, which was Bathory. And ladies and gentlemen, next week we will have Famito director, actress, and so much more, Victoria Dudley, next week.
Victoria, we love
Yes,
you.
yes, I do too, and I can't wait to see her too. It's going to be great. But as for our next two questions, one's going to be theater based, and then we're going to hop in lastly into Your Local Samaritan, and then shed a light onto saying goodbye, unfortunately, for the second episode. But the next the next question, in regards to people that want to write theater, again, because you just wrote something in regards to doing a one-woman show. How does it feel doing all three things, directing yourself, writing, and also performing in that? How exactly did that come to be?
Um, I feel like I almost liked it more in a way because I was mentioning before that I'm a perfectionist and it's really a Capricorn trait. Uh, I could say. So I really liked having full control over something that I created. Being like, in a way, like if you make a mistake, it's totally on you. Like it's not on the stage manager, it's not on your partner in the scene, like it's not on anybody else but yourself because you literally wrote it, directed it, and you're acting in it.
Yeah.
So it made me feel better too because I could totally blank, go off tangent, and then come back. Nobody would know. um, that made me really super comfortable as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt good. I mean, I want to act, but of course, like I said before, like I'm open to other things. Like I would love maybe directing in the future, but I'm really passionate about writing too. Like why not? Why not do everything? That's what life's for, right? Gotta try everything.
Exactly. That's a very good motto to keep up too. Just do everything. I
I
like
think
that.
try everything is the logo from like the logo the the slogan. That's the word from Zootopia.
Is it?
Yeah. Think I just quoted a Disney,
Hey, that's perfectly fine. I love Disney.
but ironically.
I love Disney. Disney Plus, guys, get Disney Plus if you don't have it.
Oh
Just
my
a
god,
little tangent
yes.
there. Yes. And the last question, unfortunately, and then we'll shed a light at the end of this, as I always will do with every guest. But the last question, Your Local Samaritan has really had a variety of people so far on it. And not that I'm going to ask who your favorite is, because I don't want to shed anything on that. But how exactly does it feel to shed a light on very kind people um, who are there to do good during this world that is so dark right now?
Um, well, like I mentioned at the beginning when I kind of opened up about your local Samaritan, my whole goal is to teach others the importance of kindness. So when I find other people who are doing the exact same thing that I'm doing, maybe not even knowing at first that they're doing it, it means the world to me because I cannot like go on about this enough, but kindness is so important. Be kind to one another. Like I sound like a broken record sometimes, but to be kind and to spread empathy and to spread generosity in our day and age, it's going to help us so much just to listen to one another. I mean, that is so relevant right now with everything going on. So when I find other people that are striving for these same feelings as I am, I want to showcase them to the world using my platform because I want people to be scrolling on Facebook and not see these negative posts all the time, not see this 24-hour news cycle of doom and gloom, to maybe come across an interview about Santa in July. Like, I just want to spread
One
light
of my
and
favorite
kindness
episodes, by the way.
thank you. Yeah, in a dark time in our lives, we're always going to remember this, Matthew. Like, we're always going to remember 2020 without a doubt. So I feel like now was a very, very important time to start this. And I really hope it continues. Like, it starts with me, but it doesn't end with me. I want it to go out into the world. I just want to spread that emotion, everyone.
That's amazing. Again, um, in regards to just during this time, trying to find something good to latch onto seems harder and harder. But because of people that are doing what you're doing, there is more that we can latch onto in a good way, which is great to see. And like I said, all the links will be down below for your local Samaritan, and all Sam's links will be down below. So definitely go and check everything out, and follow her, and make sure that you are one of the local Samaritans with
Yeah,
her. Unfortunately, we have come to the time of where we need to say goodbye. But before I do, as you guys can see, um, Sam is doing something amazing and shedding a light on very, very good people. And we need more people like that, not just in theater, but in general. We need people to shed a light during this dark, dark time. And we definitely need more people to keep those lights on when stuff like COVID, we don't need to shy around it. The pandemic, so many dark, dark moments that have happened in 2020 is happening. We need someone to definitely shed a nice, bright light on that. So be one of those people. Be a local Samaritan, and hopefully, we can get through this better people.
yeah.
Yep,
And together too. We'll come out stronger together.
exactly.
One
Even
last tidbit, if I
yes,
can add
of
at
course.
the end. I feel like everybody watching, you're watching this because you have a passion for theater, or you can have a passion for anything else. And I feel like now is the time to engulf yourself in all these hobbies that you have. So Matthew's doing that, I'm doing that. Put all your energy and your time into something good and making the world a better place.
That's great. I'm not gonna add anything else. Um, so without further ado, guys, thank you guys for joining the Little Thespian Podcast, episode 2. Thank you, Samara, for being on.
Thank you for having me. It was super fun.
It
I
was
love these
super fun.
questions.
Yeah, I loved saying them to you. It was great. But yeah, unfortunately, it's time to go, guys. But please comment down below. Again, check out all the links, both mine and Samara's, with everything in regards to your local Samaritan and everything coming up. Like I said, next week we have Victoria Dudley on, which I cannot wait to talk to her as well, is about Famido and what is yet to come with Fringe 2021. And so much more. But until next time, guys, this has been your host, Matthew Crandall, and Samara O'Gorman. Again, thank you for being on. And I cannot wait to talk to much more different and hopefully people that you love to see on this podcast. So we'll see you guys next time. Thank you, Sam. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
Love you too. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
The lights are off. The curtain has fallen. And it's time to say goodbye. Thank you all for joining us on the Little Thespian Podcast. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to ask, either down below or on any of our platforms. We hope you all have enjoyed this episode of the Little Thespian Podcast, in which we talked to the inspirational sunshine herself, Samara O'Gorman. On the next episode, we talk to the artistic director of Famito Productions, Victoria Dudley. We talk all things fringe, all things Famito. It's going to be a great time. I truly cannot wait. So, until next time, guys, this has been your host, Matthew Crandall, and I will see you all on the next Little Thespian Podcast.